Welcome to Believers Talk with Joe and Steve. We are your hosts. I'm Joe.
I'm Steve.
And we are back. Sorry for the little delay here. We want to try to get more videos out, but between me being a little sick and just things getting busy, luckily the NFL season isn't busy right now, right? It's a good time to take a little break. But we do want to make sure we get some videos out there. So we wanted to get a video out talking about OTAs.
Yeah.
Right. OTAs have started for every team, including our Bills. So I don't know if you heard anything newsworthy about the OTAs. If you want to get started.
Yeah, the big news will be the quarterback news, and that's what everybody, as Bills fans, were watching.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen, he started out as number 3, which
is a surprise.
You can expect that.
Mm-hmm.
The only little surprise to some people might be that Peterman was the number 1 guy, McCarron number 2. The only reason I think Peterman was the number 1 guy is because he's dealt with the coaching staff for a year. I do know there's a different offensive coordinator, different system.
Right.
So I don't really read too much into that because Peterman and McCarron switched in and out with the 1s and 2s.
Okay.
But Allen apparently looked really good. Obviously, we don't get to see all that stuff.
Yeah.
He threw a couple touchdown passes. Had some nice touch passes and some nice passes where he zinged them in. I saw one video where you could hear the ball whistling to an out route. So that just shows off his arm strength.
Absolutely. So you don't think there's anything to read between Nathan Peterman starting over McCarron? McCarron's probably starting at the beginning of the season. Well, it's probably between McCarron and Allen at the beginning of the season, right?
Well, I think everybody has a legit shot.
Okay.
I don't think they want to rule anybody out.
Sure.
I think they would like for Allen to sit a year, but if Allen blows them away, they can't just sit him.
Right.
It's the same thing as in Philly, what happened with Carson Wentz, and in LA now, the Rams with golf.
Yeah. So, and you never know about the injuries either, right? Injuries can. I mean, we saw in San Diego or in LA, the Chargers, right? Their tight end's out for the season already, so. And the injury bugs kind of plagued us a little bit too, right? So we can talk about that and if you're more about the quarterbacks overall.
No, I just wonder, who's going to be our starting quarterback and how that'll change your offense a little bit.
Absolutely.
I'm a firm believer in if you have a set guy and you draft a quarterback, let them sit a year or 2. I like what Green Bay has always done, like when they did with Rodgers and had Favre. As much as it pains me to say what New England does, they develop guys behind Brady, and either eventually somebody's going to take over for Brady, but they trade him away and stuff like that. But I kind of would like to see Allen start out if he plays good through the preseason, and that's something we got to watch through training camp, preseason, and see how he does. Maybe see him take over, roll and start fresh.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think all 3 of these guys are going to have their shot. I know in previous videos we've had comments of people don't knock Peterman. Well, we're not knocking Peterman. He's just not a topic of conversation. He's there. He has a legitimate shot of being the starting quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not really down on Peterman as much as everybody else is. Everybody sees those 5 interceptions against the LA Chargers.
Right.
And to me, when you look at the whole way that game played out, he had 2 passes that were tipped.
Yeah.
That turned into interceptions.
Right.
And everybody's like, well, you should have took him out after 2 interceptions. Well, really, the first couple weren't his.
Right.
I knew the first one wasn't. That was volleyball set it up by DeMarco. So, it's a little touchy-feely with him.
And with Benjamin going out early in that game, too, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that before. Yeah.
That changed the whole schematic of the game.
Right.
Of what they wanted to do. And then also with the Colts game. I don't think Peterman played that bad considering the elements.
Right,
he made some nice passes. Didn't do much in that game, but there was 2 foot of snow.
Exactly.
So it was a little hard to play.
I mean, if you look at his stats compared to Brissell or the Colts quarterback, Brissett. I think it's favorable for Peterman, and I don't think he played that bad in that game at all. Had some pretty nice passes, I thought. So we're not knocking Peterman. We think he has a shot at being a starter, but we'll see what happens. Like you said, we have a lot of time left before the regular season, so we'll see what happens there. But getting back to the news about unfortunate injuries, we did hear that Zay Jones had knee surgery, right? No reports as far as a timetable. But what we've heard is he won't miss the rest of the whole season.
Yeah.
Well, does that mean he's missing part of the season? I don't know.
We don't know if it was just a scoop or if they had to go in and do something.
Right.
And kind of when this news broke, I kind of looked back to the Jets game.
Yeah.
And when I believe it was screen kind of tripped him,
mm-hmm.
and his knee kind of buckled a little bit there before halftime. I wonder if that was something there, and it didn't heal up correctly when he came back, and they just said, hey, let's go get it cleaned out and go from here. I think McDermott said, it's best to get it done now than wait later.
Absolutely, yeah.
So miss all the OTAs, probably training camp. So we'll see where that goes, and that kind of puts us in a little different need for the receiver now.
I just hope he didn't tear anything while kicking a window.
Yeah.
I mean, these things happen. But yeah, and that's something like we haven't heard anything about that either, right? There's been nothing to come of that, so I don't know if that means nothing's coming at all, or they'll say something later.
If he does get suspended. And this is just hypothetical. And if he is injured, that will count. So, like, if he gets suspended 4 weeks and he is injured, for the first 6 weeks or something, those 4 weeks account. So we don't have to wait till week 10.
Right.
You can get him back when he comes back healthy, too.
That's good to
know.
So
that's if there would be a silver lining there, that would be it.
Yeah.
But like we said, we don't even know how long he's out there.
Right.
There hasn't been much reported about
it. No, which could be both good and bad, right? It could be one or the other, so we'll see what happens there. The rest of the OTAs, things to really consider. Linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds is starting at linebacker for the OTAs, so... it
was him, Milano, and Alexander as a strong side, so kind of what we talked about earlier, we expected.
So that's what's there.
Just a quick note through the NFL is... Micah Kendricks from Philadelphia was released. So maybe he's a possibility that the Bills look at to help that linebacker core.
Veteran guy, come in, help out the young guy. So, but yeah, I mean, I know we're both very excited about Tremaine Edmonds, and so to get him starting right away, that'd be awesome. Offensive line's a big need of ours, or at least a big question mark, right? We have Dawkins on the left tackle there, but other than that, it's kind of like a hodgepodge. Like who's going to start where. But, you talk about the Eagles linebacker, that's something else that can be addressed later on. Teams are going to start dropping guys too, and so might pick up some guys there as well, so we'll see.
As far as the line goes, and you see these reports about different guys, like Bodine was the first center.
Right.
Dukas went to left guard, which was Richie Incognito's place.
Sure.
And that's a whole other discussion with Richie. I didn't hear much about Miller. I would believe he'd then be our right guard. I actually like him. I think he'll take a step up this year. Last year, injuries and stuff, I don't know what really pegged him down. But going back to the power blocking scheme, I think would be an upgrade this year and be a lot better than he was last year. So you see some of this stuff of where they're switching players, and you'll see players going in and out. A lot was made of Groy not even being a starting right guard or center. They're going to be mixing and matching now to see what their best
lineup
their best group is going into the season, because you want to have that figured out by training camp, so they're working together. Best time now is the OTAs to change stuff up and do some stuff like that.
Yeah, you think of I think the first time I think of from last year that was constantly changing the offensive line, I'm thinking of the Redskins, right? And how bad they were just because they had to constantly keep changing. You want to be doing that stuff now. You don't want to do that midway through the season and have 10 different offensive line combinations through the season. So get your best starting line now, because we're positive at least one of them's going to get hurt throughout the season, right?
Where everybody fits. If you're changing them through a couple different positions, how they're going to do at that position when the time comes.
And let's say one gets injured, we might have to shuffle around the whole offensive line, and we'll find out now if that's the way we want to do it or not. So it's actually better to do this now. But going back to something you talked about earlier, we can talk a little bit about the Richie Incognito situation if you want to. Released from the team. So I think that's good news. I'm happy that he was released.
He was on the reserve retired list. And you heard these grumblings about how he was going to come back and play. First he wanted to retire, and he did retire. And the Bills put him on the list and said, okay. And now he wanted to come back and unretire. And I'm very happy that the Bills just said, bait and said, all right, you go. It's not worth the headache. You go, if you want to play, you can go somewhere.
It's not worth the headache for a contract that's only one more year. He was going to be gone next year anyway. So, and I don't actually think it hurts the offensive line all that much. I'm glad it happened now instead of later in the season, or when preseason starts or something. But he didn't pull Anquan Bolden on us. So that's good. But I'm not that upset. But we do want to talk about the issue the next day after we release him. He gets in trouble for throwing a dumbbell at someone. You had mentioned earlier in one of our previous incognito videos that there's some kind of mental issue there, and this kind of speaks into that. So we do wish him well as a person, like physically. You know, you never want to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to doubt any mental issue or you know, degrade anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just when we were talking about it and how things popped up out of the blue, how he was so excited, and then all of a sudden he's like, no, I don't want anything to do with it. And the thing with his agent, all that other stuff with the new contract. It was just something that alarmed me that, you know, he's had a past of some outbursts when he was in Miami.
And even before that, when he was in college, he had some trouble there too. So
But one that rings a bell with me is when he was in Miami, he busted up a window in a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. I can't remember which car it was, but it's just like,
why?
And it just goes to show that, you know, maybe he was better. I don't know if he was on medicine or anything, and they just stopped or what. But you know, things change in life.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Maybe he was in a good place at one time, and now he's just not in that place, and he needs to get back there, and might need some help to get back to where he was.
Yeah, and we hope he does. We don't want any speculation here, obviously, but we hope the best for him as far as a mental standpoint. He does have a family, you know, like we do hope the best for him in that situation. But he's no longer a Bell.
Yeah, because he has a long life ahead of him now.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's 34 years old.
Absolutely, right.
So he got plenty of time ahead of him to do some different things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, but as far as OTAs go, I didn't have really any more information. I don't know if you had anything that came up during OTAs that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, there was basically a full attendance. The only guys there that weren't there were Star Lotulelei. So Harrison Phillips basically filled his role.
Sure.
And then Vontae Davis, he wasn't there. I believe, because these are voluntary.
Yeah, right.
And it's his birthday. I think he was out.
Don't celebrate too much, but
doing some things with his family and friends, which is understandable.
Absolutely.
But they had, I forget, they had another guy in his role, and they switched up to kind of their DBs situation a little bit. And also McCoy, he was out sick. He was there, but he didn't really do anything. So.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny, people talk so badly sometimes because Brady's always not attended these things, but then you do see like season-ending injuries happen at these things, and it's like, do you really want your star players there anyway? You know, like you said, these are voluntary, so you want them. I think McCoy being there was awesome, but again, just kind of hanging out, that's fine by me. Don't get too messed up.
Yeah, I mean, I might be a little opposite because I want the team there, especially with a young group. I want them building chemistry, different quarterbacks with the receivers.
New offensive coordinator,
But you know, if he's sick, he's sick.
Yeah.
So at least he's there taking it in. Star Lotulelei was our big free agent signing, and obviously Vontae Davis is going to be our starting corner. You know, I don't read much into it here at the beginning.
Right. You don't knock them, but.
The other thing is they're coming from other teams, so they have different travel plans. They're probably trying to move their families and stuff like that. It's not that big of a deal, but you know, once we get closer to the season, then it's going to go.
Yeah, we want them there. But the good news is, like you said, it's not because of like contract issues or something that they're holding out, right? So it seems like everyone's on the same page as far as that goes. But that's pretty much all the news I had. Again, I don't know if you had anything else.
Getting the contracts.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The only one is Josh Allen.
Right.
I saw a report that he was the only one, but I haven't heard anything about Harrison Phillips. So I'm not sure if he's still unsigned. Those would be the only two that are unsigned
so
that I know of.
We're still waiting for the contract information, like I said, or like you said, Harrison Phillips has been like rumblings. You know, we're not sure though. We didn't see anything to make it official, so we don't want to say that he has. Maybe you guys know. Let us know, right? That's it for contracts. Again, we talked about Rich Incognito a little bit, OTAs, and that's pretty much it. Right now, it's kind of a dead period as far as news goes. But when news comes, we'll be here for you. We'll give you all the news breakdowns as soon as we get them. If you enjoy Bill's content, just stay right here. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. We'll have it here for you. And till next time.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.